This is Bessie Ellen, a traditional West Country gaff-rigged trading ketch. In 2024, she turns 120 years old, and to celebrate, she's embarking on a momentous voyage around Britain. But before she can set sail on her season of adventure, owner and skipper Nikki Alford and her tireless crew have had a lot of work to do.
So come October, when we finish the charter season and sailing, we make our way up the River Severn and the Sharpness Canal to landlocked Gloucester. This ancient harbour has proved to be a really good safe haven for ships away from the wind and the weather, secure mooring, and also a really good shipbuilding yard in the old railway sheds and canal works yard. It's what I call the sort of heavy duty maintenance period, stuff that we cannot do in transit on our changeover days. All the rigging comes off the boat, all the running rigging. So running rigging is comprised of blocks, wooden pulleys, and the rope rigging. So blocks, rope rigging come down and get stored for overhauling, renewing, and then all the standing rigging, which is the wire and chains that hold the masts up or the bowsprit in place. So that's permanent. As you know, you've been climbing up it or whatever. That's called the standing rigging because it stands, never comes down unless it's to be renewed. Standing rigging, after the running rigging has been taken away, it's free to be freshly tarred and set up for the winter. The bare wires are tallowed or linseed oiled to soak it into the lay of the wire, and the served rigging, which is black, gets a black tar varnish coated on everything. Actually, Owen, pull on that one now. Just try it by hand and Freya, see what's happened. It shouldn't cross. Give it a good old heave. Once we've done all that, the ship inside is emptied, so we take out everything and store it in the dry and start on dry dock. The ship goes into the dry dock here in Gloucester, floated in, then they drain the water out, they land her on the blocks. First of all, she's jet washed off, so fresh water gets sprayed to blast off any of the sea creatures, any slime, mud, so you start with a clean, fresh underneath. And then we really set to work doing caulking. Caulking is the filling in between the planks of wood. Caulking is like a hair, but it's made of hemp. It's called oakum, and that's caulked into the seams, and then it's waterproofed by layering molten pitch, boiling pitch over the top in a number of layers. It's a bit sort of medieval, like a torture, dripping hot pitch coming down from above. But once you get the technique right, it's actually quite easy. Very effective, and is practically the only thing to do with these old ships with wider seams. Sprout! Come on, look who's here! Come on. Come on, off you go. Get him! Whack him, yeah. Yeah, let's go. Got him. Come on. Yeah, whack him. Is that your sprout? Back on. This year we've done some major restoration. We've put in 5 planks on the port bow, where there were some very old original planks from 1904, especially where the wastage had happened from hoisting anchor. We're renewing the planks with oak, so 3.5-inch oak timber. Starts off at 4-inch, we buy the whole tree, and then it goes into the shipwriting shed and they plane it down, shape the plank, and then come and put them on. Luckily for this boat, we don't have to steam them. So steaming a plank is a method of boiling it, if you like, to cook it so that you get the flexibility of timber. But the boat, she's not so curved in a lot of the lines here, so we don't have to get that super flex in the timber. Then, of course, there's a fresh coat of anti-fouling anodes, so what they call sacrificial anodes. They're zinc ingots, if you like, that are bolted onto the metalwork of the hull to stop the engine and the electricity that's buzzing around the water or the boat channeling in on the hull fastenings like the nails. The electricity is attracted to the zinc and it wastes through that rather than wasting your nails, which make the planks fall off. And then we had a new rudder built, so we condemned the old one with certain amounts of gribble in the actual timber. So gribble is a ship's worm, and due to it failing the maritime inspection, it was cheaper to build a new rudder than it was to replace the little bits of timber. And then we've been stripping out the interior this winter. We've completely repainted and revarnished the whole interior. I've had myself and 2 others working most of the time. We've done a lot of work on the bowsprit, replacing some of the standing rigging and bottle screws, new ratlins on the bowsprit net. It seems to be a long winter. Oh, total strip down of the engine this year. Every 5 years, I take the engine apart. So everything comes off it and it's stripped right back to the block, goes away, checked, cleaned, measured, every bit that needs checking, cleaning and measuring, each in their own departments, and it's reassembled. And luckily we did that just beginning of February, so it's all ready to go. And then, of course, this time of year when we get the sunshine, it's rigging up, painting, and getting all the sails bent back on again for the summer season, which isn't that far away now. We're less than 50 days out. I'm loving the salmon pink.
Was it last year that you were saying that you thought about painting the entire boat pink?
I did, yeah. How have you got pink paint off your legs? Inside your thigh? I mean, yeah, what have you taken paint off to do that? Well, you don't help much.
In front of the wire.
Yeah, you can't go outside it, really. You climb around it. Take up slack. Take up slack. Good luck. Freya, if you keep hold of one end, coil it up, throw it towards the water, it'll then blow back in towards Owen.
I have.
Right. Feed the brown line through that. And then I'll be pulling it.
Okay.
It's not that heavy. Hold it there. Okay, keep going. So yeah, spring has sprung. It's already the 6th of March and the crew are busy painting. This winter I kept Freya on. I kept one person on just to help me paint and varnish. In fact, she's been a godsend. We've done a lot more than I could possibly hope for. But now, after sort of crew interviews, we have a collection of sailors. Owen has returned for a period. He was mate last year and he's going to do a little bit with us this year. Freya, like I say, she's been with me all winter, and she's definitely gonna stay on for the summer as part of her gap year before she heads out to Aberystwyth uni. And then I've got some new ones. Joss from Cornwall. He's already proven really useful and highly entertaining. And then Thomas joins on Monday. Then I've got various other ones coming and going. Hazel's coming back. Good old Hazel. And then I've got another first mate, Nick, who's already done a lot of traditional sailing. He's a little bit older. I've sailed with him on Phoenix in the past. But he's in the Caribbean at the moment, carrying and loading rum for the Tres Umbras Foundation. And he left yesterday for the Azores, so he won't be back in the country until the end of April. So I hope to pick him up in Ullapool at the end of May, and then he'll stay on for most of the season. The reason for me asking you to come here would be to get to know the crew, get to know the ship, get to know the routines,
Right.
and get to know you, to see if it's something you actually want to continue with. You're the same age as the rest of my crew, roughly. And I think it's vitally important to know if you can live and work together.
Right.
It's a small boat and it's a long year, and that's half the job is getting on with your colleagues.
Right.
And you live with them. It's not like you can just get in the car at the end of the day and go home and go, God, I hate that person. You know, you've really got to make it.
Right.
The 10th, I need all crew on board.
Right.
So we go through drills, training, rope handling, line handling, sail setting, commands. Basically, it's crew induction.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have to do things like make beds, buy food, plan the season, and then we leave on Friday. Guests arrive on the 19th.
Right.
What is this? What's this? Bless him. Oh, you hate it. As soon as you've done that, guys, I want to get the mainsail on.
Okay.
I'm going to just ask if I can use stuff. Lift it vertically up, you see? One more, lift it just straight up. So maybe if you help me here.
Yeah, okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's fun. Okay. Now you two, you're going to push it. Is that swinging enough? Or do you want it a bit more?
A bit higher.
Okay. Yeah, right, you sweat it from there. Ready? 2, 6. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
just walk it through to K&M. Then we can slide it along the deck to us. I've let go, Josh, so undo your bowline.
Yes, sir. And over again.
Go brute force, or we can leave it here, or
What's you're planning on using this now?
probably not while it's raining. It may be better to leave it here where it's dry. I'll tell you why, because if it's wet, it's going to be really heavy tomorrow to put it on.
Right.
And I think if we got sunny weather, we've got it to here now.
Yeah.
Can you two take the trolley jack back? Yes. And put the, you know where my life rafts are, you know where you got this from. Put it all back there. I don't think the other pin would have gone through there. Cool, right, heave away. Is that a nice working height, Fran? One more. One. Yeah, you've gone port to starboard.
Yeah.
Through this side, you're going to go starboard to port. Quite simply. And then you go port to starboard again, but don't cross them. Right, Owen, you go on the other side. You've got the other side, you two thread it through, so you take the end though, and while she wants to wait. That's it. Back through, actually, Owen, pull on that one now. Just try it by hand and Freya, see what's happened. It shouldn't cross. Give it a good old heave. That's good, Joss. Yeah, pull the head out. Go on. On again. Okay. Oh, yeah, now grip. It won't slip. If you make your fingers squish together, Owen can take his thing off. Now take up the slack, Owen. There we go. And then you know to go round the top, Owen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start Joss off on the head lashing. Once you've got these two corners down, we've got like a head lashing, which is a long rope, and it goes in the eyelets along here. So it goes along here, down the back, through the hole, up here, and then it kind of does that. And then you go like that again.
Through the sail.
Through
and
the
do
sail.
same process.
Over the up over the spar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go over and through.
Yeah.
You're going to go the other side and pass the end through to me, and we're just going to line that up like that, and then we go over and through there. Okay. Okay. Through you go. It's like a really long-winded job. We want this one running along the top
yeah.
all the way, and you can see here it doesn't rub so much. Okay. As you get tighter here, Don't put your foot through the sail.
Yeah.
You have to put some
Make sure it's
slack.
slack.
Yeah, otherwise it'll. Well, it shouldn't do. What I can do is just straighten the wire by putting my thumb on it, giving it a pull like that, and that means you can use it again. It's taken a lot of the kinks out. And again, you can do it there. Look. Okay, mousing there. 3 times, yeah?
Yes.
Not more. Okay. And now then, from this position, that one, if you're doing a really nice one, that goes that way underneath, yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't use pliers for this really, because you're not, it's just about, it's like threading a needle, yeah? And now, you do 2 twists by hand, 1, 2, yeah? And you grip this like this, you pull and twist, and that tightens the whole mousing, and then we just cut that off there. Right, choose your best end to work with. This is how these should be done. And now allow like a tiny bit of width, especially for this one, because the angle of the sail to the hoop is long. Yeah, a little bit. And again. Yeah, that's good. That's it. Stop. A bit more. So we're putting a little bit of Stockholm tar on these, A, to strengthen them and waterproof them, and B, to make it easy for you, and to make the boat smell nice, because we all love a dab of Stockholm tar behind our ears. Oh yeah. There we go.
Is it one more round?
No, that'll be through here.
Okay.
And the reef will be at the bottom. Yeah, she's on captain's cabin.
It's so difficult these days. In the old days, you could just have volunteers and people who come and just spend the summer sailing. But nowadays, every single person has to be trained if they're employed in any capacity on the vessel. So we generally send everybody off to get their STCW training.
Personal survival techniques, which you'll do on Thursday as part of the basic safety week. Then elementary first.
So each crew member has to go through their personal survival training, firefighting, first aid, and also complete a medical. It's quite tough because it all costs quite a lot of money these days. So when you train up crew, you do want to keep them for a while. As you can imagine, it's You'd like them to stay for at least 2 years. Yours. I was saying to one of the guys earlier, I've had, the last 38 birthdays at sea every year. They range from the Indian Ocean to somewhere off the coast of Australia, Atlantic, Scotland, a lot of birthdays in Scotland, to the sound of the pipers. Yeah. So maybe I can retire in another few. Oh, because yeah, grab. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I've got an absolute number.